Hey everyone, Chandra here, and in this video I am going to talk about all the things that I love about Palmetto Bay. First is the schools. Amazing top-rated public and private schools, from Southwood Middle to Coral Reef Elementary, Palmetto High School, you have Palmer Trinity, Westminster. I mean, absolutely amazing, phenomenal schools, just to name a few. Next is Deering Estate. Deering Estate is a huge historic property that was owned by Charles Deering in the early 1920s, and it is often used for weddings and festivals such as the seafood festival. It's extremely popular in Palmetto Bay, and my husband and I actually took our engagement photos there. But Deering Estate does a ton of events, a ton of festivals. They do tours of the estate, and because it's historic, it's a very cool place. It's preserved. It's really nice. I actually grew up in the house that was literally right next to Deering Estate, so I used to walk to Deering Estate. It would take me about 2 minutes. If you have a family or you plan on starting a family, this will be somewhere that you really want to consider living to raising your family, because just for demographic purposes, right? So about half of the households have kids, and of those kids, a third of them are actually under the age of 6. So, I mean, if you want to talk about, kids in the neighborhood, absolutely amazing. I loved growing up and seeing lemonade stands, and I mean the parks, Coral Reef Park, which is right next to Coral Reef Elementary School. I mean, there's always stuff going on. You got sporting teams, sporting events, farmers markets every Sunday. I mean, it is just an amazing family-oriented place. And like I mentioned before, the schools, amazing top-rated schools in the neighborhood and in the area that you would love for your kids to attend. So speaking of things for the family to do, Metro Zoo, Miami Zoo is close by. Fairchild Botanical Gardens is close by. I mean, there's just a plethora of things to do as a family. Tons of family-oriented events always going on in Palmetto Bay. So another thing that I love, well, of course, I'm in real estate, are the homes. I mean, absolutely beautiful homes. Some of them were built like in the mid 1900s, but like the home that I grew up in Palmetto Bay was built in 1972. However, the characteristics of the homes, I mean, are just absolutely phenomenal. Palmetto Bay has a lot of greenery, a lot of trees, the aesthetic. I mean, and if you want to talk about a community that is heavily involved in all of the decision making that is going on in Palmetto Bay, I mean, this is where you want to be. I don't care who is about to be elected. Now, I don't want to get into politics, but if you are somebody who cares about where you live and where your kids go to school and things like that, you have to kind of care about politics a little bit. And Palmetto Bay, I wouldn't say is a highly political neighborhood, but we are extremely involved in everything that is going on. Anybody who is running for any sort of local office, anything that is being voted on as far as the changes in roads, what's about to be gated, what's about to be built, and all of that. I mean, the residents are very involved, and they voice their opinions. And I promise you, if there's anything that Palmetto Bay residents don't want to happen, most likely it will not happen, because we speak our minds and we are very involved in everything that is going on in the community. So I mentioned the parks, the fact that it is very family oriented, the schools, the beautiful homes, absolutely amazing, from beautiful modest homes to huge estates, all in Palmetto Bay. In addition to that, we're very close to a lot of the malls. So you have the Falls that is very close by. You have Dadeland that is not far. I mean, a lot of opportunities to shop in very great locations and malls and stores, and access to some of the most phenomenal restaurants, Samurai being one of my favorite. So when me and my husband got married, and right after that, we moved back to Palmetto Bay, because that's where my family home was and that's where my parents were living. We moved in to save money, because we wanted to get our own home and do all of that. And I remember one morning we went to Starbucks because I grew up right on Old Cutler and 165th Street. And this particular Starbucks is right on Old Cutler and 168th Street. So this morning, it was a beautiful Saturday morning. We wake up and we walk over to Starbucks. And it was probably around 8:30 in the morning. And I remember my husband being like, is this like for real? I thought this was like only in movies. Because I mean, you just saw families sitting at Starbucks and having coffee, and tons of people who ride bikes and who ride their bikes up and down Old Cutler. Actually, right by Deering, there's a whole trail where people tend to walk. They exercise, they go biking. I mean, I remember my husband like almost having like kind of a culture shock, like, this is real life. This is the stuff that you only read about or you see in movies. And it's like, nope, this is real life. We're sitting here at a coffee shop right in the middle of an amazing neighborhood. And there are Labradors and golden retrievers all around us, and families and people talking about stocks and their kids going to college, and people are in their bike riding gear, and it's just really dope. My family lived there lived in Palmetto Bay for 27 years, and it was just it was amazing. I think that anybody who wants to raise their family in a very family oriented place, this is a very amazing neighborhood in Miami that you would really want to consider. And if you want more information about it, just reach out to me. I'll have links down below so that you can reach out, and also a link down below where you can see all of the beautiful real estate that is currently for sale in Palmetto Bay. So if you have any more questions, let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video.